Welcome, one and all. Oh, look what we have here. Class is finally fully attended. All three of the three guys present and accounted for. This is Three Guys Before the Game. It's episode number 514, and it is our Radford preview. We'll also have a UMass review. But I didn't want to put UMass into the title because it's kind of like Twitter. You only have a certain number of characters. I just go Raz, R-A-R-A-D-F-O-R. Yeah, that's good enough. Just do that. You know what you're getting. You're a listener to this podcast. You know what you're getting, which is absolutely you have no idea what you're getting. That's what this podcast is. And for the first time in podcast history, we'll live update scores. We got a live
show.
We're going to live update scores. All right, here we go. Three Guys brought to us by the fine folks at Comax Business Systems, keeping West Virginia's business data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years. If you're a business owner, do not think that you are immune to attacks on your network within your business. All your personal data, your customers' data. Is it safe as it can be? Comax will let you know. Contact them at comaxwv.com. Three Guys brought to us by GoMart. Go for good times. Go for GoMart. Get that rewards card. Once you have that rewards card, you can save money on fuel and food. And every time you use it and buy things, it adds up. Plus, you got the triple points. I'll tell you about that later. Three Guys also brought to us by Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans. They do sell family fun. Visit them at LouWendellMarineSales.com. And in a few moments, we'll tell you about the special deal they have for Three Guys listeners on that Avalon Tri-Tune. Ooh, as a granddaddy of them all. But, bowl season, people say the Rose Bowl, granddaddy. That Tri-Tune from Avalon, that's the granddaddy of them all. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com. Three Guys also brought to us by the Conley CPA Group, providing value beyond the numbers. They are our sponsor for Spreads on Stats. He'll break down last Saturday's game against UMass, and we'll look ahead to the Fighting Darris Nicholses, who come into the Coliseum on Wednesday. Well, it looks like they're going to do this. Looks like they're going to do it. Mark Kellogg and the WVU women have trailed. I want to bring up stat broadcast. I want to see how long they've trailed in the game. I bet you they've trailed 37 minutes in the game. And now with 35 seconds to go, they're up 4. WVU 73, Wright State 69.
Make your free throws.
Yeah. Wow. What a game. So I'll bust into that box score as well. Hoppy, good to have you back.
Good to be back. Did you get my picture? Sent you the picture from Buc-ee's.
Oh, yeah. Saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that. Yeah, that's neat.
It was my son got me my Christmas present at Buc-ee's that day.
And what did he get you?
A Buc-ee's shirt. I meant to wear it today.
Well, we don't sell those, so no. I mean, we wear your Three Guys gear. That's what we sell through episode800.com.
We did spend one nice afternoon at Buc-ee's.
Had Karen been before?
She'd been before, but, you get in there and you just can't help but just keep, look over here.
Yeah.
Oh, look over there.
Yeah.
Oh. They have a whole section that's just like a jerky area, like
right.
A jerky count.
I talked to the guy that's
jerky deli.
Talked to the guy that stacks that shelf when I was there, and I said, "It's pretty amazing." He goes, "Dude, can't keep it up on the wall." He said, "During my shift, I stock it twice a shift." And they got all kinds of different. They got ghost jerky, heavy pepper stuff. Oh. Kind of wild, right? So you can get jerky there. You can get like brisket sandwiches, and I bought a couple of onesies.
Oh, for your grandson?
Yeah, I bought a couple of onesies. One that's got the Bucky. You pull it up and it says, whatever he is. What is he? A beaver?
Beaver,
Brad?
I think.
By the way, side note to answer your question, Wright State's led for 25 minutes 22 seconds. West Virginia 8.5 minutes. They've led.
What's the score now?
It's not over yet.
Only up 1, 25 seconds remaining.
Only up 1, 25 seconds remaining. 73-72.
Gotta make free throws.
Yeah. All right, we'll keep an eye on that. So, not much has happened since the last time we got together. Hoppy, we had this bizarre episode last Thursday because things were happening while we were recording. Senator left set.
Really?
Took a phone call to shed light on exactly what was happening. And Senator, what was your overall review of our speculation and we pretty much hit it.
I think we nailed it. We said it was going to be a firestorm. We said it was a massive misstep by the NCAA from a PR perspective. We said every time they seem to go into court and have to open up about what their rules are, their decisions, it goes the other way on them. I thought for not having concrete information at that moment, I thought exactly what we said was going to happened. And sure enough, 24 hours later, the ruling gets extended, the temporary restraining order gets extended, goes all the way through winter and through the spring. The whole thing changed right there.
Right. And so we fly up to UMass, which a couple of things. One, and just on the last episode, I talked about how overrated the travel is, and people complain about when West Virginia has to travel. And I said, hey, it's not that big of a deal. However, we got on that plane, I asked the flight attendant, I said, how long is the flight? She said, 63 minutes, 103. And I went, oh, that's pretty good. But yeah, you forget when you're just in the Eastern Corridor how quick those flights are. Yeah. But anyway, so we get up there and there's great excitement because everyone had been cleared to play, right? And it was all good to go. And then Raekwon Battle gets sick, which just makes you want to do like, what is it going to take to finally get the pieces together? You do get Kerr Carissa. We're going to get into that. You do get Noah Farrakhan, who's like the most absolute wild card of all wild cards, because I'm sure as West Virginia fans were listening / watching the game on Saturday, that had to be the one where they're going like, he's on our team?
There hadn't been a lot of talk about
that. He's on our team. Well,
right.
Where did we get him?
Right.
Because everyone's talking about Raekwon and everyone's talking about Kerr. They've got a ton of tape that they can watch on Kerr, a ton of tape that they could find on Montana State with Raekwon. But like Farrakhan was always there's another kid. He's here, but he's not playing this year. Right? He's not playing this year. Like a week ago today, we're sitting here going like, no, he's not going to play this year.
Right.
And then he goes out there and balls out, and he's got a completely different style of play.
Does he like to go to the basket?
He can go to the basket. He can distribute. Yeah, you got, as we said, you got significantly better with the addition of those two, and you didn't even have Battle on the floor. So we'll get in and break some of this down, but you could see the immediate difference, I thought. Now, it took a little bit of time to get going. That first half wasn't ideal, and you're probably
That's the understatement of the game.
You're in for a little more time, but think about what you had to do there. You mixed in two guys to your lineup that hadn't been, I know they'd been practicing, but they hadn't played with you in a game. And not only did you mix two guys in, you mixed in two ball-dominant guys. So that changes the calculus for everybody that's involved on how to play off. Not just the backcourt with a Kobe Johnson whose role was different, or Seth Wilson whose role was different, but Quinn Sislinski having to play off different players. So you could tell it took a little bit of time for them to get going, but what got immediately better? Exactly what we've talked about. The ability to shoot the three. Right now, I don't know that Kerr's going to go out and get you 6 maids every day, but that's what he can do. He can open the floor up, shoot threes. The passing was excellent. The ball movement was better. 11 assists between Carissa and Farrakhan. So I think it was pretty clear you didn't end up in a win. You still have work to do. The team still has flaws. Yes, all of that. But I think you've added 2 really good pieces, and a third piece is about to come.
Well, West Virginia had a good week on the waiver wire, picking up those guys, Brad, and adding them in. Well, you could see, and we watched the game Saturday while we were doing football bowl games, and it was evident the talent level increased significantly with those 2 guys. Then you add Raekwon Battle, so you know that talent-wise, Saturday, you were better instantly. What you don't know yet is how much better the team will be, because as you said, Brad, there's going to be an adjustment period. And Tony was talking on my coffee klatch, and Tony said,
by the way, thanks for that invite. Didn't even know you're doing it on Mondays.
Yeah, I do it on Mondays and Wednesdays. That you kind of wish that it happened in October, but it didn't. So call UMass, call it game 1. Right? It's called game. I mean, because it really is game 1 of what the team is going to be.
But really, is it maybe game 1/2? Because it's not, because you didn't have Battle in there.
All right, it's game half.
So that changes it too.
Saturday was the one exhibition game, and then Radford will be game 1 if Raekwon's feeling better. Yeah. And then the season begins. So It's going to be. It's interesting because it's going to look entirely different than it did for the first part of the season.
Yeah, that's the thing. And you've got this week Radford, who we'll talk about here in a second, and then the Toledo Mud Hens come in on Saturday. And then that's it. Christmas break, and then Ohio State the following, what is that? What is that, a Saturday game? I'm sure it's a Saturday. That's a Saturday
December
game.
30.
Week from Saturday. So then you have that game. So it's a final, by the way. WVU women's 77. Wright State 72.
Oh, nice. Way to survive in advance.
Well done.
When you do your spreads on stats, I want to go through this box score and show you how an absolute aberration anomaly box score can get you a win. I'll just give you one number. Wright State shot 51%.
See, that's too high.
WVU shot 39, and WVU still won.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you my Tony on stats coming up in just a little bit. Anyway.
There's usually two ways that happens, but go ahead.
Yeah, and I'll show you. So you're right. We're still await now what this thing is going to be. Everyone's role does change. And now the big question with this team is, and Josh Eilert has said this, and he knows it, and the players, whether they buy it, your role is now going to change.
You know, and also that before you added those guys, you would look at times on the court and go, who's going to score? Who's going to score? Now you see what Kirk Carissa did. Again, we don't know what he'll do going forward. You go, okay, this guy can score.
Yeah.
Farrakhan, he can make something happen. He can dish. And Kirk Carissa, just the other things that he brings to it other than just scoring. I mean, hitting the threes. What did you say, Brad? 6?
It's 6.
Hit 6, but also distributing the basketball. And those other guys got to get ready because the fastball's coming in from Kerr.
14 three-pointers, most since 2021 at Oklahoma. West Virginia also lost that game despite hitting 14 threes. And another asterisk that you can put next to this game is it also was Jesse Edwards' poorest game of the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If he had a middling game,
you probably win the game.
If he's instead of 1 for, what was he, 1 for 7? Is that what he was?
Yeah.
1 for 7. If he goes if he goes 4 for 11, 4 for 9, you're probably in a whole different situation. But he never went off. So you're still waiting to see the whole thing.
It's got to come together. But one of the things that I did like beyond the Crease's ability to stretch that defense open, he and Farrakhan both did a great job of the penetration and kick.
Right.
Tony, we talked about that on Thursday. That's where it's going to be incumbent on guys to get to their spots and make shots. I thought JoJo Harris did that a couple times.
Yes, he did.
Right? Squared himself up in the corner, got the ball as Creason went down. You have to collapse on him. The ball was kicked to the side, puts the ball up. So you can see it coming, but I also thought there were times when Kerr got caught up at the top of the key, ending up having to dribble longer than he wanted as guys were trying to figure out, where do I go? Where's my first move in this offense? So it's there. It's underlying in there. It's just going to take some playing together to bring it out.
Yeah.
Were there any warrants issued for the assaults on Edwards?
Jeez.
He gets pounded inside, man. That Big 12 refs are going to have to be on that. He takes a beating. He takes a beating inside.
Yeah, that's and he hurt his wrist. I don't know what the status is. I haven't talked to anyone today, but hopefully that was just maybe a day or something like that. But I mean, he worked and worked and worked the entire game on that sideline, you could see him. Yeah. He's getting a towel. He's squeezing the towel. He's trying to make sure. You could tell he didn't have feeling at times because he's continued to shake it. And I don't know. I'll have to find out later today. Like, what was that? Did he hit it when he went up for an alley-oop on the rim, or did he get chopped across the wrist? Is that what it was? What pisses me off is I hate to get beat physically.
Mm-hmm.
And when teams try to big boy you, that's what makes me upset, because I just want to absolutely just go face to face. And unfortunately, this team at this point hasn't shown that. Like the Quinn Slazinskis and the Pat Sumnicks, they need to match the physicality in the course of a game. And because you don't want to have the perception of other teams on their scouting report that these guys will back down and they're soft.
Yeah, I think UMass was certainly more physical than West Virginia. But remember, you're coming off a game where you were the more physical team against Drexel. So you'd seen that. Now, how's that going to look when you get into Big 12 play? But you're right about that. I thought UMass did a better job of being physical. We talked about their ability to get in the paint. UMass's, they had 36 points in the paint. 41% of their points came within in the paint. Now, that's lower than their average, so you held them below their average, but it was still a pretty stark difference in there. Here's the other part. Go back to West Virginia's offense for a second. Tony, we talked on Thursday. The pick and roll would become a bigger part.
Have you jumped into spreads on
No,
stuff?
you can give a stinger if it's up, but this isn't full-on stats.
Okay.
If you want to give a stinger, you can. We talked about pick and roll was going to take a step forward and how often West Virginia used it with Creasa coming back, and then you were going to see it even more once Battle returns. So in this game, that was the second most points all season from the pick and roll ball handler that West Virginia's had. So that's going to continue to evolve as you get going, which I think is going to be a great weapon as you figure out how to, okay, what are you going to do? You're going to try and stop and hedge out on Battle and Creasa. You're going to drop on Edwards. The lob becomes available. The hedge out and the kick becomes available for three. So multiple options coming off the pick and roll.
Yeah. You know, there are also a couple of times where, maybe this just happens, Tony, you can speak to this, where UMass beat West Virginia down the court after a missed shot. West Virginia was not able to get back defensively. Was that just because they were just aggressive, or is that just how it goes in the flow of a game sometimes?
I think those guys, I mean, my perception of their personnel, they got like dudes. They got like they may not all be from the Eastern Seaboard, but they got a little Eastern Seaboard basketball to them.
They were tough and played, and they were ready to go.
That point guard, he'll push it up the floor. The kid hits 6 threes. Robert Davis, he hit 6 threes. He had 8 the entire season. And he hit 6 threes. This is the second time this year that someone became a hero. And I can't remember who the other dude was. But there's another guy that absolutely went off scorching hot.
Monmouth, Rice.
Yeah, and just bang shots.
Yeah.
And you can't let that happen.
Well, to Hoppy's point, how many times was there a missed shot by West Virginia turns into a transition opportunity that ends in a three? They had multiple threes in transition. They didn't hit a ton of threes on the game, but they were up 34-15 in fast break points. At one point, they were up 21-0 in that category. So to me, that was one of the big differences right there, their ability to score in transition. And then we talked going in that West Virginia had to get to the line because UMass put you on the line a ton. You not only didn't get to the line enough, you ended up down 16 points at the free throw line. Wow. So that was an area where you had to find. Now, you made some threes, which made up for that. So you found a way to score. You scored, what'd you score? Almost 80 points. So scoring wasn't the problem, but you were minus 16 points at the free throw line.
Yeah, and West Virginia, as you said, needs to get to the line. But also WVU battled back. I mean, they were down. It looked like they were close to getting blown out of the gym.
They were down 18. Here's the stat. Were they 341 in the country in fouls committed? UMass?
I think it was in defensive free throw shooting rates. So I don't know if it was fouls committed, but it was the amount of time you put the other team on the line.
Well, they're whistled for 16 fouls in the game. And West Virginia is whistled for 24 fouls. No.
Yeah.
No. See, they play the way that West Virginia played in Press Virginia. You're not going to call it. We're just going to keep whacking. You're not going to call every single one. And again, you've got to, when it's that kind of a game, you have to match that. And that's what they need to get better at. And to your point about fast break points, that's been one of the biggest concerns from the start of the season is West Virginia's defensive transition not getting back. And as you said, they're up 21-0 at one point in fast break points. So a lot to get into. All right. 3 guys before the game. You know, the Christmas season quickly approaching, Hop.
Absolutely.
That means people are going to be traveling around this state of West Virginia. And this reminder, up until the 31st of this month, up until the 31st, at Gomart, you can unwrap sweet rewards. The holiday season sweetens your day with bonus points. So this is how this works. You buy these M&M's products at Gomart stores during their Winterland, and then you earn game tokens with the purchase of each product. So until the 31st, you collect all 5 of the game tokens. In other words, you get yourself a particular M&M's product, and you get all the bonus points. You get all 5 game tokens, 2,500 bonus points. No limit to how many times you can do it. You get build up like a serious cachet of points. Don't let this offer melt away. Visit the Gomart app, gomart.com, to learn more and bang off some of those M&M's products. Get yourself 2,500 bonus points on 5 tokens. All right, so textual healing is coming up, but right now, let's really jump into the numbers with some spreads on stats.
We'll just go right to the numbers. Here comes a heater.
Let's jump into the analytics portion of the show. Spreads on Stats brought to us by the Conley CPA Group, complete service, public accounting, and consulting. They pride themselves in doing so much more than just filling out the forms, filling out the numbers. They become your guide, walking hand in hand with you along your business journey, giving you the best advice possible so that you pay your fair share, but you don't pay more than your fair share. They also offer outsourcing your CFO services. So if that is a hassle, if you've got a CFO, maybe you had a CFO, you don't want to have a CFO in the building with you, they can do that remotely. Outsourced accounting and CFO services. They'll just pop right in there. Probably using Comax, probably when they get into these, when they go into these other, like in remote in, probably Comax opens up that tunnel, make sure everything is safe and secure.
Probably.
Visit the Conley CPA Group.
They'll probably arrive at your office in a Lou Wendell Marine Tri-Tune as well when it gets spring and summer.
They're in Marion. They're
Probably not now.
Conley's based
Spring
in
and summer, I said Kirchwell.
Conley's in Marion County.
Icebreaker. Put a little blade on the front.
Yeah. Yeah, boy. All right, so just recently.
By the way, are the days getting longer yet? Speaking of pontoons. Did we establish that? I forgot what was established.
The days are not getting longer. The sunset is getting later. But the morning's starting later. So 21st of December.
What now? Say that again.
So what's happening from like the 8th of December until the 21st, the days are getting shorter, but you're getting a later sunset already. But the day is still getting shorter up until the 21st, and then your sunrise. We had this, you haven't been around. It's been an established fact. Don't play with it, Hoppy.
Okay,
let it go.
Okay. I haven't done the research, so I'm deferring to you, who seems to be an expert in all things of day length. And you keep track of it. You know the starting lineup for UMass. You also know, hey, you got to check here because the day's 8 minutes longer today.
Actually, this craziness isn't on me. Someone texted us and said, they said, I'm disappointed that you did not announce that it was like the 8th of December. From this point forward, sunset gets longer. It gets later every day until June 21. And you haven't. He said you haven't pointed that out. But the sunrise is happening later, but
What'd you say? Expert in all things day length. All right, what do we?
You should have just a call in. Tony, I got a question about day length. What do you got?
Sure, go ahead. What do you got? Zambia? Yep. Minus 22 hours.
Sunset 5:22. Next caller.
When we were growing up, man, you could call the bank and they had this automated thing, it would go like, the time is 7:21. The temperature is 42 degrees.
Now, what phone would you use when you call
Rotary? It was a rotary phone. Rotary. All right, spreads on stats.
Don't start on phone.
Let's go.
Yeah. Let's get into Radford.
Yeah.
Did you already play the music?
But yeah, I did. Oh, hey, by the way, Hoppy, we issued a moratorium on. We got so many party line thing. We cut them off. They're done. We said we've done that chapter of 3 guys.
Okay.
You're done.
Move on.
Go ahead.
All right, Radford preview. You mentioned head coach Darius Nichols comes in, former WVU point guard, so it'll be fun to see Darius back into the Coliseum. They're pretty hot, Hop.
Yeah.
They've won 4 in a row, 7 of their last 8. Now, each of those opponents over that stretch has been ranked 269 or higher in KenPom. So this will certainly be a test for Radford coming in. Not a ton of size. They do have a 6'10 center. Doesn't start for them, but he will play. Their tallest starter is 6'7", so West Virginia's going to have to be able to eat inside.
Yep.
Slow pace team is Radford, or Radford has been throughout the season, 336th in terms of tempo and possessions, but they've been kicking that up a little bit lately. They've been getting into 70, even touched 80 possessions here recently, so we'll have to watch how that game goes. They've shot the 3 really well this year so far, nearly 40% from 3, 32nd nationally. Now, let's get down in the weeds here, Tony, because I know you're interested in this.
I like weeds.
They're 54% from 3 from the corner. So the corner
Both?
threes combined, 54% from there.
Ooh.
Don't shoot a lot of them, but they've been very effective when they go there.
Wow.
45% from 3 from the wings. So wings and corner, which is most of the three-point line, West Virginia better be able to defend and run them off that line. They really only struggle right straight on at the top of the key from 3, and it's interesting, that's the spot they shoot the most from. So You wonder if they start to switch that around a little bit and take advantage of the wing and corners a little bit more. But point being, West Virginia's going to have to run them off the line, force them to come in and take those twos, get them off the three-point line. They're top 100 nationally in offensive rebounding. So a former West Virginia product has a good offensive rebounding team. Stop me if you've heard that before. So this is another game where, as you start to look at this West Virginia roster and they get these pieces together, I think we can see offense is going to take a step up. The questions remain around the rebounding prowess of this team because your front line, Tony, you outlined it the other day when you were watching practice. There's just not a lot of guys at that end of the floor when they break up into smalls and bigs. So Jesse Edwards is going to need to be healthy. He's got to get on the glass. JoJo Harris has to get back to getting on the glass. Quinn Slislinski, get on the glass. A Cook. There's your guys. I mean, that's your guys that are going to have to rebound. So given the size advantage here, you should be able to keep Radford off the glass, but they're going to try and get there offensively and find a way to score. They've been very good if you want to look at specific play types for Radford. They've been very good spot-up shooters. I just mentioned their ability to hit the three. They've also been very good with the pick-and-roll ball handler part of it. So you're going to see two teams that are going to try and pick and roll each other at the offensive ends. Keep an eye on Kenyon Giles. Giles or Giles? You got there yet?
How are you spelling that?
Giles.
Oh, that's a Giles.
Number 3 is what you want to watch. Number 3. He's the one that will go most often to the pick and roll. He'll have the ball in his hands. He'll look to score off of that. He's also very good pulling up off the dribble. So keep an eye on Giles, number 3. There's your quick overview of Radford.
What do you think the line will be?
I think the line will be West Virginia by 3-ish, 4-ish, 5-ish.
That's it.
And Ken Palm has a West Virginia win by 4, so it's usually right in that range. 70-66 is the projection there. Again, what gets hard, though, if you're trying to use computer numbers for West Virginia, is this is a totally different team. Yeah.
No Raekwon Battle yet. What impact does he have?
Correct.
I would imagine that he will.
I think scoring. I think scoring starts to go up. I think West Virginia's tempo starts to rise. You know, they go from one of the slowest teams in the country up to this point. We've talked all season why that is. 336th in the nation in tempo or possessions as we sit here today. I think that continues to rise a little bit as you get these guys. I mean, you mentioned it, Noah Farrakhan. You've got to get him out and let him run, don't you? I mean, he can scoop. A Cook, very good filling the lane. Jesse Edwards can run. I mean, that team now is one where Josh talked about it when he was in here. He said he wants to get up and down the floor more. I think over the next few games, guys will play their way into game shape. You start to see West Virginia be able to push it a little bit more.
Yeah, but you have a little bit of an advantage, too, because Radford, at least for the next couple of games, I mean, they're looking at a different team. They haven't seen,
Sure. Absolutely right.
They're preparing for a different team.
Yeah.
I mean, you think UMass, when they found out on Friday that Carissa and Farrakhan were going to go, and they were assuming battle. I mean, they were scramble mode. Like, what do we do here? What do we got here?
Well, guys, I get it. You know, we're going to do our UNC preview on Thursday. And
Friday.
Excuse me?
It's Friday.
Oh, we're doing it Friday?
Friday.
Breaking news there?
Friday.
Okay. We're doing it Friday. But our spreads on stats, we might have to talk basketball during that segment. I don't know what I'm going to give you for North Carolina because I feel for what the coaches are trying to do. They have so many different pieces in there, namely a quarterback that's going to be 1 or 2 in the NFL draft is off.
Right.
You bring in a guy that's thrown 6 passes all year. All those tendencies are out the window, right? So it is difficult to prepare. I know everybody laughs and giggles and when defensive coordinators say, well, they brought in a backup quarterback. We didn't know what to expect. Well, there's some truth to that because all the tendencies are gone.
Yeah, so you figure they're not going to change. I mean, they have to do what they can. They're not going to go to the option. But you're right. You don't have tendencies.
But they can't throw it as much as they have.
Right.
That's a difference in quarterback. Now they have a really good running back. Didn't mean to jump ahead there in the UNC preview.
Boy,
no, that's fine. Well, Neil had a presser yesterday.
He did.
So C.J. Donaldson out. Obviously, Zach Frazier out. Preston Fox is questionable with the injury that he suffered in the Baylor game. So your running back position now goes Jaheim White, Jalen Anderson, DJ Oliver.
Give me a little DJ Oliver in this one. I mean, we want to see Jaheim White. Hope he can bust a couple. This is one, much like I was saying, and then we can move off. We'll save it for Thursday. But I want to watch some of these new offensive line pieces in this game. I think that'll be fun. Give me a little DJ Oliver carrying the ball a few times.
Shout out to Jared Parker, the former WVU assistant, most recently the offensive coordinator at Notre Dame today, named as the new
not named. Reports are saying. He's not officially named yet.
Reports are saying that he'll be the next head coach at Troy. So He's a good dude.
Congratulations to him.
Yeah, he's a good guy. So, hey, can I do my spreads on stats?
Well, sure. That'd be
spreads
great.
on Tony.
Yeah.
Scopes on stats. So I just found this WVU women's game interesting. 77-72, they win. They get outshot 51% to 39, but at the foul line, they outscored Wright State by 17, 29-12. They forced 25 turnovers by Wright State. So points off of turnovers, 30 WVU, 14 for Wright State. You're plus 16 there. And West Virginia apparently didn't just turn the heat on, they turned on the welding torch. In the last 3:26, they forced 5 turnovers from the Wright Staters, and West Virginia made baskets when it most had to. They made 4 of their last 5 shots. 77-72, they're 10-0 on the campaign.
Here's the other one. As you know, we said earlier, when you don't shoot it well and the other team does and you still win, identify 2 areas. One will be the free throw line. The other is offensive rebounding. West Virginia held a 14-3 offensive rebounding advantage. Second chance points, 14-0.
Yeah.
14-0. You don't see that very often.
No, that's a whitewash.
Rolling on.
Good win for Coach Kellogg and the crew.
That's all he does is win. Wright State had the lead for 25 minutes, and WVU had the lead for nearly 9 minutes. There were 13 lead changes, 12 ties.
That's an impressive win in that. That's the game that you should win, right, Tony? But you came in on my show and said, WVU women are down. They're losing the game, not playing. But when you're not playing as well as you should
and win
against a team that you should beat, and you find a way to win, Brad, find a way to win.
Without your best stuff.
Yeah,
sometimes you don't have command of all your pitches.
That's right. So what works, yeah.
Attendance, 7,535, 75,
Education
35.
Day.
Education Day. What was funny was it was supposed to tip at 10, but they didn't get all them school buses in there on time.
It's tough logistically.
Yeah, so they had to move the start. They went at 10:18.
New start college baseball-esque right there.
Just like, when's the game start? Whenever you guys get here.
Yeah.
We'll wait on you. Just get all the kids in
I
there.
love that day. That's one of the all-time great days.
7,500 kids.
Yeah, that's good.
That's why.
Probably autographs afterward. Right?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Right stage thinking, what in the world?
Yeah, well, you know what you're stepping into when you do an education day. By the way, did you see our girl got ejected yesterday?
Huh?
Kimberly Mulkey?
Oh, yeah, she went off.
Yeah.
Had to be restrained.
Yeah.
They're kind of a mess this year.
They
a lot of things going on. People suspended. They're back. She's getting tossed. What are they doing down there?
What happened?
What's happening? Get it together.
I loved it. I just got something for her and her cranky ass little voice. I just love it. Yeah, I tell you. That official just came up to it. See ya.
I was just going to say the video board production's always an easy day at the Coliseum on Kids Day. You do a lot of promotions, but you really don't need to. You basically just take that camera, put it on a couple kids in the audience, and
wild.
They go nuts.
Yeah.
It's awesome. That's a great event. I'm glad they do that.
Yeah. That's a big thing. Getting your face on the camera during that fan cam thing.
It's a big thing, and I made the fatal parent error of asking my youngest, who's a big basketball fan, big WVU women's fan in particular, hey, are we going to that game on Monday there? Your class going to be there? I'll meet you over there like I usually do. They didn't go this year. It was a different grade level from their school that went.
Oh, man.
Almost had to take her out of school. Happy to take her over there.
Yeah. That's all right.
What do lawyers say? Don't ask a question you don't know the answer
Exactly.
to.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Fatal mistake.
Well, my neighbor next door came over. He's like 9 or 10. He asked me the other day, he said, hey, get a couple tickets from you? I said, yeah, what do you need? What game? And I said, well, get with your dad, see which one you can go to. And he said, one other thing. I said, yeah. He goes, you think you can get the fan can on me? I said, he goes, I'm bringing my stuff. I said, what do you mean you're bringing your stuff? He says, bringing my foam finger and he got some other stuff. He just brings a whole,
He's smart.
stuff in.
Those accessories get him on the board.
Yeah. May have sunglasses. I think there may have been a pair of sunglasses involved.
Does he have one of those
sunglasses?
wigs?
Yeah.
Does he have one of the gold and blue wigs?
I think he does.
Crazy hair wig?
Yeah. It's Carter.
That works.
You
I know Carter. Well,
yeah, the mayor.
Well known.
He's like Carrot Top. Just got a big trunk of stuff.
Yeah. That's a thrill, I would imagine. Get your face on there. 3 guys before the game is brought to us by Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans. They are the absolute best when it comes to selling family fun. What better way to spend those great days in our spring and summer here, and even in the early fall in the state of West Virginia, on the pontoon sold by the premier pontoon boat dealer in our state. It's Lou Wendell Marine Sales. They've been in business. Heck, they're heading toward 50 years, founded in 1973. And right now offering this 3-guy special. It is the 2023 Avalon 2385 Entertainer. It's the top of the line, tri-tune model. You can do with it whatever it is that you choose to do with it. Brad really has been infatuated by the awning in the back that comes up.
Love the awning.
It's got a speaker system in there. You'll think you're at a Rolling Stones concert. Got a Honda 150 plus the trailer. Ask for the 3-guy special price, and you'll have yourself a special pontoon boat. It's Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans.
You know, the key to that awning is the ability, the little thing it has that goes in the hole.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy. That secures it.
Yeah.
It's a pretty easy mechanism.
So it's just, you
just pull it up, slide it back, lock it in there.
Oh, okay. Got it.
No tools needed. Goes up very easily.
Stable?
It's very stable.
Oh, yeah. And plus, I mean, if it's really super high.
Different settings?
Well, yeah, because you can just put it back. You can put it up. You can halfway the thing.
Okay.
Multiple things you can do with it.
All right.
Ready to do this?
Sound system in that thing?
Oh, yeah. Complete sound system. Like I said, you think you're at a Stones concert.
Won't be long. Back out there on the lake. It's coming soon.
Days are getting
Absolutely.
longer.
Summer is quickly approaching.
Well, sunset's later. Days aren't getting longer, as well documented earlier.
See, I got to go back and watch that episode.
What's that? We got to go back and watch what?
I mean, I say the days, I don't mean the day is literally getting longer.
Right.
I mean, the day is the day. The sun is moving, therefore there's more daylight. Correct?
Well, ask the expert. Don't ask me.
Correct, mister?
Correct time, master? Yeah.
What time's sunset this evening?
What the hell is this?
Let me check.
Jesus.
What?
What now?
Sunset 4:57.
What now?
What's wrong?
What just happened?
From WVU.
Oh, jeez.
WVU Senior Center Jesse Edwards will miss approximately 4 weeks due to a fractured right wrist.
Oh.
He will have surgery this week.
Oh my gosh.
It's unbelievable. It's truly unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Josh Eilert is like a pincushion. I mean, it just how many body blows do you take?
Every weird situation that could happen is happening over the last 6 months for this program.
That's
Oh, yeah. So you still don't have your full complement of guys. You're going to get Raekwon Battle back, but now you're big in the middle.
so. Where's your big? Who's the five?
Well, a Cook becomes your
but
five.
who backs up a Cook?
Sumnick. I mean, you're kind of back to what you were, but you're missing, as we've said all year. You just took an NBA guy out of your lineup.
Man, did you say surgery?
Goodness
Mhm.
gracious.
And and also after 4 weeks, you don't just come back and go, okay, I'm fine now. Oh, jeez, that is
4 weeks is the end of January. Basically, you're going to be in February.
that's a bummer.
Well,
You can't make this stuff up.
you
man.
can't. You truly can't.
You cannot make this stuff up. This is unbelievable. I've never seen anything like this.
Get Battle back through a prolonged court case and process. He gets the flu. Presumably will be over the flu by Wednesday, ready to play with everybody, and your NBA center has to have wrist surgery.
Jeez,
Oh, yeah.
I'll tweet that out. What is it again? Jesse Edwards.
Dude. Talk about a cloud, right? Talk about a cloud.
4 weeks, you said?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well, that certainly takes all the fun and frivolity out of the show, right?
It does.
That's too bad. really too bad.
What's that?
That's just
It's just simply amazing is what it is. Okay, so let's do these things. 3 guys minus 1. Tony, the stress must be getting to you. You were discussing eligibility last episode. You said the funniest thing I've ever heard. You mentioned NCAA rulings and common sense in the same sentence. and you sounded serious. Brad and Hoppy, it's your job to keep Tony grounded and point out when he's being silly. He does not, doesn't buy into that. Yeah, not often are those two associated. Next one. Oh, we'll skip that one for now. I got to send that picture in.
Joe Bricado was at the game, so we'll have women's game. We'll have highlights up.
Well, sure. I mean, why wouldn't you? Three guys. First off, it was fellas. Fourth time, long time. This text here will be good for what we need right now. Fellas, fourth time, long time. On this day, 1 year ago, I had a 12-hour surgery to remove what remained of my cancer after 6 months of chemo. The surgery and all the treatments were a success, thank you, Jesus. Coming out of surgery, I didn't know which way was up. I needed something to get my mind off all the beeping and my body looking like Clark Griswold's power outlet. I handed my phone to my wife, having a hard time speaking. I barely got out the words. 3 guys before the game. She queued up the latest episode for me as I laid there trying to rest. I just wanted to thank you for being part of my recovery. I'm happy to announce a year later, I'm still cancer-free, and Lord willing, I'll be that way forever. Thank you for always being an entertaining escape from reality through life's ups and downs.
Excellent.
That's awesome.
Glad to hear.
Absolutely. Thrilled that we could be some small little piece of that recovery. Texter, by the way, thank you for reminding me of how old I am. I was referencing Randy Swinson. As a point of reference, though, the Kermit punch was less than 2 years after the catch and kick. So last episode I talked about Rudy Tomjanovich. I identified the wrong Kermit. It wasn't Kermit. I said Kermit Johnson. It's Kermit Washington.
Kermit Washington, yeah.
Kermit Washington. Many people have called that to my attention. So, all right. So this kind of loses its funniness. Put the picture up. Remember we were talking about the herald horns? We said we're going to hang the flag down.
Yeah.
Hoppy, we said we're going to have like the herald horns when we finally got all the players on the team together.
Yeah, I can't now. Roll them up.
Yeah, right now it sounds like
wah, wah, wah. That's what it sounds like. Jeez.
Happy holidays, 3 guys. Tony, it's well documented that you're a hater of many professions. Having said that, I am so happy at the props that you've given the Postal Service. From the love you give the Star City crew, the High Street Gang, and even the mailman in Mercer County who's likely currently listening to the Texas Tech preview from 2019 for the 3rd time. Thank you for the props. This time of the year is like tax day for your accounting friends. We call it our Super Bowl. Thanks for keeping us entertained while we get the 3 guys coffee, popcorn, shirts, and even bourbon barrels delivered, signed by Craig in Craigsville. I tell you what, we can't say enough good things about the Postal Service people because now that we're in e-commerce, right, on episode 800, those folks have been off of the chart.
Elite.
Absolutely off the charts. I mean, we had a big delivery because we have suspended our sales of our coffee and popcorn until after Christmas now because we simply just can't get it to you, and we don't want you to buy it with the hope that you're going to get it. So we've suspended that. However, the last shipment went out this morning, and the guys at Star City could not have been nicer to facilitate and make sure that our stuff got through. So a huge shout out.
They've been great. Credit the people carrying the ball too. I see Postal Service workers in my neighborhood all hours right now getting those packages out.
Yeah.
So the ones bringing it actually to the homes too are doing a great job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Texter, on a river cruise in Strasbourg, Germany, and the boat is playing Country Roads. Only song to get an applause. Signed by Adam from Amsterdam. Yeah.
Is that true? From Amsterdam?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably. He's on that tour thing.
River tour?
Yeah, one of those things. You've done those yet?
Not yet. Looked at them.
Yeah. Well, you'll get up there in age point where you want to do that. Instead of going on these hikes up in Africa, you'll probably just want to sit on a nice recliner on a river cruise.
Very close.
Solid point.
Texter, hoping these will be happy holidays for Mountaineers everywhere. You recently mentioned the composition of the NCAA Transfer Portal Committee. I found it interesting. Presumably, these folks hold esteemed positions in their academic institutions, which indicates that they have a modicum of intelligence. However, it doesn't appear any of them have a lick of common sense. Hopefully, especially for the sake of the athletes, the mess gets resolved. Speaking of intelligence, it's obvious that Garrett Green is a smart, well-rounded young man who has the grace to acknowledge the role his family, teammates, and coaches have contributed to his success. He's such a likable guy. Hopefully, he'll lead them to a win of the bowl game. I'm ecstatic to be going to the game. My son Rob and his family are gifting me with the trip.
Even better.
Oh,
I'd be delighted to celebrate my 77th birthday with a win and some cake with a dollop of mayo on top. That sounds tasty. Lastly, I just received a package out of my mailbox that was wafting a delicious aroma. It is, of course, from episode800.com, and that'll be going to Rob. Don't want to tip my hand about what it is since he listens to your podcast, but he'll be a happy recipient. Love the pod, love the laughs. Thanks, MJ and Savannah.
Awesome. Thanks for the order.
Have a great time there. Bowl game. Jeremy from McDowell here. I'd like to say congratulations to all the two-time transfers who are able to play, and for you guys for basically predicting the future on last Thursday's show. I've got a question. Is there a reason why Kerr Carissa has Kerr on his jersey, and why a Cook has A. Renya on his jersey? Thought if anyone can answer this, it'd be this crack team of investigators. Love the show. Always a bright spot.
Tony, you know that, right?
I don't know why.
Brad,
I have
you
to
know
ask
that,
him.
don't you?
I asked a Cook what his name was last week. I interviewed him. He said a Cook. I don't know. I'll ask. I'll find out.
But Brad, you're the one who told me about Kerr.
Well, I don't know if that's right. I don't know if that's accurate.
I mean, I'm not going to repeat it. Then it's just, usually when you tell me something, I like, okay, Brad knows. Ask Brad. And you told me something. Now you say you don't know if it's right. Maybe you should add a little caveat there.
I didn't hand you a paper with 3 sources. I just said, here's what I think it is.
Oh, I thought you said here's what it is.
He's speculating.
I'm speculating.
Your hearing's
Heard
going
something
away.
about that. I was in the middle of doing 19 bowl games and 14 basketball games and 3 NFL games. You're holding me to one line over the course of 13 hours.
Classic Hoppy.
We did
I didn't
bowl
even
games
remember that.
Saturday.
How many games you guys do Saturday?
Well, we did 4, but there were 7 going on, so we talked about all of them at certain points during the day. Ricky Hunt from Ohio U was the star of the day. Ricky Hunt had 7 touches coming into the game. Ohio U lost a ton of guys to the transfer portal. This is what we always talk about.
Yeah.
Ohio U lost a ton of guys, including their starting quarterback, to the portal. So they probably had no chance to win, right? I don't even know why they showed up. Got no chance to win. Absolutely came out and ran them. Ricky Hunt had 7 touches going into the game. He had 6 carries, 1 reception. He went for 115 yards and 5 total touchdowns in the game.
How many touches did he get?
He had 17 carries, 1 catch, so 18.
That's good.
Almost tripled his touches.
That's a nice day.
But he almost equaled his touches with touchdowns going into the year. So guy got a chance, stepped in, played great.
We had highlights, and Tony, that was one of the first games of the day. So 11 o'clock at night, we're still talking. But he had a great game, along with Garrison Ripa, the kicker for the Fighting Rich Rods.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was a great game.
Yeah,
First field goal he made all year was a game winner.
He was a true freshman. The kicker entered the portal, so he comes in overtime, and I think, who were they playing?
Louisiana.
Louisiana missed on their first possession.
Louisiana.
In New Orleans.
So Rich finished with 9.
Finished with 9 and becomes the first program in college football history to win a bowl game in its first year as an FBS program.
How about that?
Because normally you have to wait a couple.
Yeah,
so you have that
exactly.
waiting period. They didn't.
Was he excited after the game?
He was fired up.
We had a cut from him. He was fired up.
Think there might be a little bit of a contract extension there?
They'd like to keep him. He's winning.
Yeah. Texter, hello guys, and Merry Christmas. I have a lot in common with Hoppy. I'm a product of the 1950s, and we also had a party line in my home, which was in the rural, out-of-the-way outpost known as Huntington. And I've carried a handkerchief with me every day of my adult life. Please make me a hanky to sell on episode800.com with embroidery that says 3 longs and 2 snorts. By the way, Tony, as you no doubt have been told, it was Kermit Washington, not Kermit Davis, who sent Rudy T to the ER in a 5-month recovery. There's always a West Virginia connection, as Kermit Washington's coach was Jerry West.
Really?
From Joe Mock in Texas.
Gosh.
P.S. My wife, my sister, and my son are all receiving gifts from episode800.com, and I bought a shirt for myself that Tony will see on me in Houston on January the 6th.
Thank you, Joe.
Texter, Jeremy from Cooperstown. My kids and I, Hayes and Harper, made the 3-hour drive today to Springfield for the game. I got to say, it was looking pretty grim at half. We even discussed an early departure, but my son, just 3 days short of his 10th birthday, has already taken on the never die optimism a Mountaineer fan must have to endure the lifelong roller coaster of not having any of that talk. Luckily, the boys played hard in the second half, made a game of it. As we started to leave the arena, we ran into one John Flowers, who was extremely gracious to take a photo with my kids. Well, there he is. Though we didn't get to sing Country Roads, the hook is being set on my little ones. They'll have decades of opportunities to sing the greatest tradition in college sports. Go Ears. Hope to see you all in Charlotte. Absolutely love the show. So that was Jeremy in Cooperstown. So something about Flowers, I must say this. This was classic. So I saw him. He was in the stands watching the game, right? And he's with, some guys. The guy had a gold and blue Mountaineer jersey on. Game's over. Okay, 20 minutes have passed. I'm sitting there getting ready to do post-game interview. Places, people clean up. All of a sudden, on the corner of my eye, I see motion and movement. Two guys are racing each other.
Excuse me?
Two guys are racing each other baseline to baseline. And one of them...
On the court?
Yeah, and one of them happens to be Flowers. So this dude, I can tell you exactly what happened. The guy and Flowers get in a conversation during the game. The guy says, I can beat you in a sprint. Flowers says, there's no way you can beat you in a sprint. So all of a sudden, the guy dusted Flowers.
No.
Dusted him. Ran so fast that like an usher had to run over because the guy was about to go over the seats behind the basket. He put the brakes on. Embarrassed Flowers.
Surprised to hear that.
Yeah, well, how old is Flowers? Flowers was what on the 2010 team? It's not like Flowers is a spring chicken anymore, right? Retired. Probably doesn't do a whole lot of physical. Probably doesn't do a whole lot of physical conditioning anymore. It's obvious because the guy that beat him, it wasn't like that guy looked like Usain Bolt. I know that. Like no one ever would go to the guy that beat Flowers and say, "Hey, you were a great athlete at one point in your life, weren't you?" Dusted Flowers.
Shocked by that.
Flowers should have, when the guy challenged him, if that's what it was. Maybe Flowers challenged him. We don't know. We have to get to the bottom of the story. But Flowers should have just said, I'm not. Yeah. I played basketball here. Yeah. My record's intact. I'm not going to go race you down the court.
Bad day for John.
You think he should have stood?
Yeah.
His record stands?
Record stand, just like.
Charlie from Midlothian.
Come out when you made the team. Right.
Yeah. Charlie from Midlothian, Tony, Brad, and 3 longs and 2 shorts. Glad the NCAA finally came to its senses. Talk about a memory from 50 years ago. Because I was saying, Hoppy, how people talk about Randy Swinson's catch. That if you equate that to when like in 1984, if you were to talk about a catch from 50 years before, it would be a 1934 Mountaineer game. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Right? And remember how we used to look at Mickey Faferi when he would talk about those old games? We'd kind of look at him like sideways and go like, what are you talking about, Mickey?
Like Washington and Lee.
Exactly. You think Washington, you're laughing now. Washington Lee, it was a juggernaut.
And that's where I am now.
Yeah, you are. Anyway.
Jeez.
Glad the NCAA. Talk about a memory from 50 years. How about this one? 60 years ago, I'm 12 years old. This is Charlie Midlothian. I'm watching the Mountaineers play number 3 Davidson at the Charleston Civic Center on 29 January 1964. Game's tied at 73. Marty Lentz heaves one from half court as time expired, and All-American Fred Hetzel jumps up, knocks it away at the basket. Officials rule it as goaltending. West Virginia wins 75-73, rated as number 6 of the top 100 Mountaineer basketball memories.
Huh.
How about that?
They say Fred Hetzel?
Correct. That's what he said.
And don't forget Marty Lentz.
Yeah. How about Davidson being number 3 in the country?
Pre-Steph Curry.
Yeah. T. Crook from Hurricane Putnam County. I wanted to share an always a West Virginia connection. I recently took a travel nurse job in New Jersey, working for, yes, Rutgers University Hospital.
Rutgers.
On orientation day, I met a guy from Florida that asked me, "Did you say you worked in Huntington at St. Mary's Hospital?" I replied, "Yeah." He said, "What a small world. When I was younger, my dad moved us to that area, and we helped build a camping place called Foxfire in Ona. You know that place?" I said, "I was raised in Milton." I said, "Always a West Virginia connection." He looked very funny at me, which led me to explain the phrase. We had since become good buddies while working together at that hospital.
Always.
Say Rutgers again.
Rutgers. Hey, the Fred Hetzel thing caused a memory. We grew up in Summit Point, our family farm, and we were selling it. And one of the people that came by to see about buying it was Fred Hetzel and his wife.
Was he a former player? Was it him?
Yeah. And that's not what they were looking for. I think they were looking for a country farm, and ours was a dairy farm. Not what they were looking for. And while the wife and the real estate agent were talking, we had a kind of a neat setup. We had a rim inside the hay barn and a concrete floor, Brad. We had a great indoor court.
Yeah.
Indoor court. So I think Hetzel immediately looked around and thought, "Oh, I'm not living here." Went down and shot hoops. Shot hoops. Fred Hetzel.
Amazing.
Was that guy that Charlie just mentioned?
Well, Fred Hetzel.
There's only one Fred Hetzel.
Unless there's another Fred Hetzel that played in the NBA.
That'd be him.
Fred Hetzel.
How about that? Wild.
That's a wild one.
Texter. Hello, there's...
Didn't see Fred Hetzel coming up during today's episode, let alone as potentially buying your farm and shooting hoops in the indoor court.
That was a nice court.
Simply amazing.
Fun. That sounds like a nice court. Yeah.
Simply amazing, Hoppy. Simply amazing.
Concrete floor?
Concrete floor. My brother made the backboard out of plywood. You can still shoot.
Yeah.
Good. A lot of games in there. Put up a light bulb at night. Go in there and shoot.
Got shots at?
Oh, yeah.
Hello there, Scopes, Spreads, and Snot Pocket. I have an idea for an embroidered message on your future episode 800 hankies. It says this: "I keep my butterscotch candy in my other pocket." P.S. Why can't transfers play in the bowl game? Be nice if we had our 2 new defensive guys available. Love the show, Jeff in Parkersburg, also known as the Breadman. Transfers can't play because they haven't enrolled and attended class yet. So that's why. Steve from McDowell County. There's always a West Virginia connection. My wife and I were at a doctor's appointment in Tennessee when I saw a guy walk in with a West Virginia hat on. We began to have a conversation, found out that we went to the same high school, Big Creek, played football together. He was a senior, I was a sophomore. Nearly 55 years later, our paths crossed. Texter, hey guys, I still have hope for the season despite the loss to UMass. Need to be more aggressive on rebounds. Near the end of the UMass game, a UMass player elevated over 3 Mountaineers to get a rebound on a missed free throw. There it is. Look how high he is.
What are we watching?
Look at the UMass player head and shoulders above.
That dude's up. Look where his feet are.
I know. Example of a neutral. Thanks for having us. It's been fun. Love the show. Go Bills. Jim in Williamsburg. Texter. Hey, fellas. Matt from Talmo, Georgia. Originally from Grafton. I was in Enterprise, Alabama yesterday for my daughter's softball tryout. We walked into the local Walmarts. While walking in wearing my flying WV hat and gold sweatshirt, a man walking right beside me wearing a gold WV t-shirt says, "Hello." He was from Charlestown. I told him I was from Grafton. He said, "Well, Brad and Tony always say there's a West Virginia connection. LOL. No mention of Hopgasm, I found out. Anyway, the West Virginia reach is unmatched. Keep up the good work. Drop me a line while in Atlanta catching an aeroplane." So he walks into a Walmart in Georgia, starts talking to this guy. He says, "Hey, there's always a West Virginia." He says, "That's what Brad and Tony say." At a Walmart. What is this? What are we doing?
I've got gifts. Not from me, but I've got gifts.
What do you got?
I've got gifts. This is our guy, Tommy Boy.
Hey, where's our tree? We should have a tree.
Hold on here. We got to go in order.
Okay.
Too late.
Stay focused here, Kirchhoff.
Okay.
From our guy, Tommy Boy.
Yeah, I
Text,
know.
right? We know Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
Wants us to come use his house. All right. He's got a bunch of different things here. He's got something for all of us. You're just going to have to open mine and yours, okay?
Open them now?
Yeah, go ahead and open. What's that top one say?
The top
Okay, open that up. Hold
To
on.
Brad
Hold
Howell,
on, you
part
can't open
1.
yours. Well, go ahead. Yeah, Tony, open yours. Go ahead, open them.
Okay.
Go see what these are. 3 big packages and a long handwritten note from Tommy Boy. Duct tape.
Flushable
All right,
wipes.
Kurtz will flush it. I don't think they're actually flushable wipes.
Oh, they're not?
I don't think so. But I got to see what that is first. All right, Tony, you're into yours. Let's
Tell you what,
skip
they're
ahead to
well
yours.
Take your time there, Grandpa.
Well, the thing.
He said those are root beers for Tony because you mentioned on one of the shows how much you like root beer. Hold that up. So what did he give you, a case of root beer there?
All different flavors. Sarsaparilla, all different root beers. Caramel cream root beer,
Different flavors of root beer?
all different companies. All Dad's got a Dad's root beer. That's a classic.
That is a classic.
Red Arrow root beer. Holy cow. Maine root beer.
I gave you a bunch of different kinds. Are you okay over there? I gave you that to get started early. You're taking forever. All right, let's see what's in there. I think this is yours. I think this one's for Hoppy that he's opening.
This is yours.
Oh, that's mine. Look at these. Look at these things. The big, massive Reese peanut butter cups.
Oh my gosh.
Those are the giant ones. We talked about those on a recent show.
Look at that.
All right, get into yours, Hop. Let me see those.
Those are.
Tony, look at these. Look how heavy these things are. 2 half-pound cups in here of Reese peanut butter cups.
Unbelievable.
So again, these are from Tommy Boy. You got root beer.
That's
We got big giant Reese
thank you
peanut
so
butter
much.
cups. Kirchhoff's digging in here.
That was a lot of work to do that.
That was nice, Tommy Boy. Thank you for sending all of this. Here's a picture, too. Should have given this to Luke to put up. Look at that beautiful picture. I think they're in Hawaii right there.
Oh, yeah. He gets around.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he said he knows Hoppy loves his coffee, his Mountain Air Roasting 3 Guys blend, but he also wanted to have some of this coffee from Hawaii that they say is some of the best in the world.
What kind of, is that the Kona?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's Oma. Maui Oma Coffee Roasting Company. Oh, it's the Kona Prime.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
So how about that?
I know
Thank
my
you,
Hawaiian
Tommy
coffees.
Boy.
Thank you.
He said he knows you're going to spend most of your time with the 3 Guys blend, but wanted you to have something a little different as well.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
So thank you. That's great, man. Appreciate all that.
Yeah. That's you go out of your way. I mean, I know how much of a hassle it is to get all that stuff
Well
all
done.
ready and all
Appreciate it.
organized.
They do.
Thank you so very much.
Look at these things, Hoppy.
You can't. You're going to have to cut
Yeah.
pieces.
That is absolutely hilarious. So next episode, I'll find another picture. Some gentleman in New York City, there's a Reese bar that you create your own Reese cup. It's like you're going to a salad bar. You put in your Reese cup what you want in your Reese cup. And it becomes this massive Reese cup. That's it. Yeah, that's it. There it is.
But you know what? I don't
Look
see
at that.
You scoop different stuff in
You
there?
scooped it. See, you scoop different stuff in there, and then you close it, and you got to.
See, I don't know that I wouldn't do. I like them just as they are. The
Yeah, I'm
only
with
thing
you.
I would add, and I give them credit, they just came out with these. They have one now that has caramel inside it. I would be interested in that.
I
Other than that, I
understand,
think
but,
I'm good. I'm going to stand.
But that, I'm a traditionalist. I like a Reese cup. Reese cup is great.
Just a plain one.
Don't need to improve.
Yeah.
Would you try the caramel one?
I might, yeah.
Yeah, I'd try that.
Yeah, I might. But I don't want all that. No offense to.
No, he won't take offense to it. Wow, what an episode
That
this
nice.
was.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Go have a big cup of
I
coffee.
mean, I don't think you guys are fully grasping what we just had happen there with that injury. Probably are if you process that thing.
Well, all right. Everybody put it in perspective. Tony, start with you. What's it mean?
Like the best way to say it is you took away a professional, right? You took away a pro. I mean, in this league, we've often said, right, you've got to have pros on your team to be competitive at this level, right? And you just took away your inside presence. We were bemoaning the fact that they struggled inside against UMass Saturday. And if you remember, I said, Jesse just did not have a great game because now of the injury, went 1 for 7 from the field, and you saw what happened. You got destroyed on the glass. Now, it's just a head shaker.
You take away an NBA player, a guy, Brad, a consistent double-double guy for the most part, and a guy who draws double teams that frees up other guys. So, I mean, you're losing on a dimensional level. with him out of there.
Yeah, and we had just talked, Hop, last week how I thought he was about to really step it up even more than he already had, which is saying a lot because he'd been fantastic. But he was going to start to see either more single coverage or his assist total was going to go through the roof because if you wanted to double, you had guys in places around him. So, and I think just ultimately, guys, other than losing a pro, which at this level you can't lose guys like that. But the second part is it's just another disappointment that you have to push back the ability to see this roster as you wanted to have it constructed. You were just starting to have some life in this program, adding guys back in, and now it's another step backwards. Yeah. I feel bad for them.
And with that being said, right, so a Cook now has played 3 games. But with his situation,
he's limited.
He's not 30. He's not a 35, 37-minute guy.
He's not there yet.
Right?
No, Pat's going to have to step up and play significant minutes. You're going to go small at times, too. You're going to basically go without a true 5 for a lot of the times as well.
Yeah.
It's too bad on so many levels, and also again, it probably. I mean, he'll be fine, I guess, but it hurts him as he prepares for the next level. You know,
simply
get to see him.
Bummer.
All right,
just a bummer.
So Friday we're back. Friday
we might have Brad, do we have a game?
We're going to do it early. You want to get up 7:30 in the morning? You want to do 7:30 in the morning? We'll do 7:30 in the morning.
Games at night.
7:30 in the morning.
It's fine. I'm available. You don't do much on your show on Fridays, right? You do like your last 90 minutes of that Steam release. You do 90 minutes of that. Starts at 10:30 or something like that.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock's fine. Steam release doesn't last for 90? I thought you just came in, did a half an hour, and then you took 10:30 to noon.
I'll tell you one thing. It is a show where I appear. Although I was off last week. So one of my 12 weeks off. So I can't say too much.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't climb that hill. 3 guys before the game brought to us by Comax Business Systems, keeping West Virginia's business data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years. By GoMart, go for good times, go for GoMart. Take advantage of those rewards points that you can gather up until the 31st of this month by buying M&M's products. Get your card, get those points, 2,500 when you get 5 of those tokens. 3 guys brought to us by Lou Wendell Marine Sales in St. Albans. They sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com. And by the Conley CPA Group, providing value beyond the numbers. All right. Done for now. Back in here on Friday. We'll have our preview of WVU and UNC.
Okay.
We'll also preview WVU and Toledo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then next week is like Christmas, right?
Yes.
So we'll figure out. It's not going to be twice a week during the holiday season.
It's not.
I'll be gone. I got to go bowling.
You got a lot going on.
I got to go bowling.
We got stuff too.
Dude, what are you talking about him?
Well,
He's not doing 4 games in one day. He's doing 1 over the course of 5. He's gone for 6 days to do 1 game. We're going to go do 4 a day.
We're going to go do a game right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Enough of this chicanery. It's time to move on. Thanks for being with us, everyone. Have yourself a good day. Stay well.
Paul Harvey.
Why'd you just go Paul Harvey?
Also, this gentleman here.
Tommy Boy.
Thank you so very, very much. Truly appreciate that.
Very nice.
All right. We're out. See you later.